Last week, we reported on the guilty verdicts against two companies in the Trump Organization. A Manhattan jury convicted them of criminal tax fraud. The former president himself did not face charges in the case, but other investigations are in the pipeline, including one focusing on a hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels, who claims she had an affair with Trump. This stems from the Manhattan District Attorney's broader criminal investigation looking into whether Trump used misleading asset valuations to defraud lenders. For more on this, I am joined by the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So prosecutors during closing arguments in the Trump Organization case said that former President Trump knew about the scheme. So why wasn't he charged? I know you've been asked this before, but why wasn't he charged?
Sure. So, that statement, which I thought was very ably made by ADA Josh Steinglass in closing statements, was in response to the defense's repeated sort of invocation of the former president's name and saying that this was, actions by rogue employees. And ADA Steinglass's response was, well, let's look who we're talking about. The CFO and other very senior officers, who hired them, who set this in motion, who in effect sanctioned it. And so for purposes of corporate liability, and I think the jury agreed with him, those arguments were made in that context.
Let me ask about efforts by former President Trump when he was the head of the Trump Organization to inflate the value of that company, and that was apparently something your predecessor was looking at. You decided not to look at it, according to reporting. That's something that the Attorney General of New York is looking at. So I wonder if now that you've been in the job a little bit longer and this other case has now had a verdict, might you be looking into that again, that idea of former President Trump inflating the values of his assets?
I love how you said according to reporting. It's the way in my business we always say allegedly, right? To caveat the scope and the reach of the statement. So look, we've consistently said that as we did last week, we're going to do our talking in the courtroom. I've been a prosecutor for 20 years. There's things that we do behind the scenes. We don't want to prejudice any investigation would bring, and so consistently sort of pointed people back to the statement in April, which is that we decided not to bring any charges at that time so that we could continue our investigation, which is what we're doing.
So door neither open nor shut.
We're working every day, and I think people saw the fruits of that work in trial last week. And when we have something to say, we'll do it in that venue.
Matthew Colangelo has been brought into your office, which also people thought, well, he had worked for the Attorney General of New York, and so he's now working for you. What's he doing?
So, Matthew Colangelo is a great former colleague. We worked together at the New York State Attorney General's office. We worked on the Trump Foundation case, and he also did some other matters relating to the Trump companies in terms of investigations. So I know there's been a lot of reporting here as well. He's certainly going to be working and helping the great team we have on that broader investigation. But he's done a lot, and he's going to help us in the office. He was chief of staff to former Labor Secretary Tom Perez, and so he's going to be helping us with our worker protection and worker safety work. He was a lawyer at the NAACP Legal Defense Fund doing affordable housing. We've just started a housing and tenant protection work. So he's going to be helping us across the board.
Here's a question I don't get. So the Trump Organization, you looked at their taxes and you said, successfully, you said they weren't playing by the rules of taxes. You have former President Trump's personal taxes. It seems hard to believe that a company where the leader of the company knew that they were engaged in tax practices that were not legal would have pristine, crystal clear personal taxes. Is that that seems impossible that would be the case.
So, we are investigating, and it's interesting because you started with a couple things before that we're investigating, and now you've added to the list. This is what we do in the office, right? This is what we do in complex investigations. We go where the facts take us. It takes time, and we don't want to prejudice any potential result by speaking publicly. But we are following the facts wherever they take us.
Speaking of complicated things, I wonder if you have any thoughts about the investigation into Sam Bankman-Fried, just the sprawling nature of it. As somebody who has to take on sprawling investigations, what do you make of what other prosecutors are going to have to do wading through all of this?
You know, it's an interesting question, and you know, I know I'm reluctant to comment on my own investigations, even more on someone else's. Just to say that I think you put the nail on the head, which is, you know, these kind of complex white collar investigations require great personnel, which we have in the Manhattan DA's office. They require often a fair amount of time, and following the trail of witnesses, documentary evidence. Often now. Video and audio, emails, text messages, and putting, as I say, the pieces of the puzzle together.
One of your predecessors, Robert Morgenthau, said that you have to both go after white-collar crime and street-level crime. So since you've been in the job, murders and shootings have gone down in Manhattan, but other crimes, rape, robbery, burglaries, grand larceny, those have all gone up. What do you think explains that split, and what are you going to do to make Manhattan safer next year?
So Mr. Morgenthau had a great expression, from the streets to the suites, and we've been doing both this year. I'm glad you noted the homicides and shootings, which is down even further in Manhattan, in large part, I think, due to our concerted effort in that space, focusing on those who are driving the violence, relatively small amount of people doing a large amount of harm. But you're also correct to really point, we've got work to continue to do in that space, but also in the other spaces with assaults and sex crimes, and we are working every day on that in the Manhattan District Attorney's office. I think we're dealing with dislocations coming out of the pandemic. We're dealing with really kind of once in 100-year circumstances.
How long do you think those affect crime in New York? Those circumstances, those ripples from the pandemic?
Well, what I know is that we are addressing them with urgency. Every single day. We're holding multiple people accountable. For example, violence in our transit system. One just yesterday. We are dealing with the spike in hate crimes. Our hate crime prosecutions are up. Our gun prosecutions are up. Sex crimes, we are working on that, reinvigorating that team. So we're hard at work on it every day, partnering with law enforcement partners. And I think that's how we do this. We do it through targeted and smart intervention and prosecutions. And then also, I think on the prevention side, we've done some things investing in grants to organizations that work with children affected by guns. We're going to do some things on mental health, really to kind of shore up some of the holes in our system so that we can be on the prevention side and on the accountability side.
All right, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.